So, welcome to the end of session for our third arc. Lots of stuff happened. We met a cybernetic sorcerer from the future who turned out to be a little more important than we thought he was going to be. Tony Rex's protege got into some trouble, got out of some trouble, got into some more trouble with Darren. Lots of stuff happened. Piero and William picked up a mentor in the form of Horus. I'm sure that will go great. So, we'll just start right at the left. Let's start with Darren. So first off, I think you, towards the end of the last session, filled up your potential track.
Yes.
And I know a couple of you did during these sessions, so we'll talk about what you picked up. But let's start with you. You filled your potential track.
Yes.
What do you want to take?
I'm going to choose 2 new abilities from any playbook as I come into my own.
Okay. So what are you picking up?
I'm thinking of...
And abilities are like these guys.
Yeah. I'm thinking radical shape shifting.
Okay. And these can be from any playbook. Doesn't have to be the Outsider.
Actually, okay.
So if you want to look at the other playbooks, we got
That'd
those.
be fantastic.
Yeah. I tell you what.
Just abilities?
Yeah.
Because if you want a whole bunch of abilities...
Okay.
Yeah. And really, this is basically you're picking up superpowers, so even if it's not on these lists...
It's really just a matter of picking
you
a
just say,
superpower.
what superpowers do you think you would have? So things like impenetrable armor, inhuman might, plant affinity, you can control other plants.
I was thinking about that one.
That'd be nice.
Yeah?
Become a real poison ivy.
Well, I was thinking that with the bees of like, man, if only I could like grow blossoms that could like attract bees and just like throw them off and get them off my trail and see if like the...
Have Darren start like controlling insects?
Oh, so like just with plant, but so that would work with pheromones, which is an option.
It could be either of them.
But I don't like the stunning beauty part because I don't think anyone's like, man, that fine pink mushroom.
Well, maybe plant people do.
That's
Maybe
true.
evergreen does.
Maybe evergreen has a
Right?
thing for fungus. Mm-hmm.
You could pick up some superhuman physiques, some hacking and detective skills. I mean, I don't know. It's whatever you think fits the character.
Yeah, I think I might go with
Plant affinity.
plant affinity.
Okay. So radical shapeshifting and plant affinity?
Yeah.
Yeah, those are pretty good.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That totally makes sense for what you've been doing.
Yeah.
So Darren can now radically alter their body and also control plants.
You can turn into a tree.
You could.
I don't want to go too far with that. You
I
could,
mean, it's radical shapeshifting. You can shapeshift into basically whatever you want. And we'll talk about what the limits of that are.
Okay.
But, so there's that. Now let's talk about the actual end of session move.
Mm-hmm.
Have you grown closer to the team, grown into your own image of yourself, or grown away from the team?
Since so much of this was me alone, I would say I grew more into myself because I had to do a lot of this by myself for the first time.
Sure. So how does Darren see herself at this point?
I think Darren would perceive herself to be a bit more... I think she might be a little bit surprised at how well she did by herself, even though she did cause some harm. She did catch at least half of the swarm.
That's true.
And she did successfully save the T-Rex, even though it ruined everything else. But it was the T-Rex that got saved.
That's true.
And the children were also protected the entire time.
Yeah.
So
Darren,
I think...
Darren was a good Chapier one.
Yeah, she was a good Chapier one. So I feel that she would take this as a mixed bag, but definitely would think, like, in the end, I think I came out mostly on top.
Nice. And so part of this is that you're going to shift your own labels. So one up, one down. What you going to shift?
I think I'm going to shift my superior up 1.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. And what's going down?
And I'm going to shift my danger down.
Sure. More smart, less dangerous.
Yes.
Okay. So let's move around then to William. So you also took an advancement that we kind of used in the last session.
Correct. Basically, I took the advancement that is unlocking the remaining powers of my suite. So as a just kind of evolution of the powers I already have, we decided that I can now basically create teleportation portals.
Yeah. Like your dad, and we've seen Eric do this as well. You can teleport as long as you know where you're going. And you can also use these offensively.
Offensively, defensively, whatever.
Yeah. So, have you grown closer to the team, into your own image of yourself, or away from the team?
I think I'm also going to have to go with into an image of myself.
Okay.
This has been an important point for William to break away from his legacy a little bit more. Not yet, but at least figure out who he wants to be. And also realize that he is woefully inept when it comes to large amounts of magic. He knows one kind of magic.
Yeah, he knows, like, demons and that stuff.
And I think that bugs him.
Okay.
Other people are like, oh, we know all sorts of things. Like, you're nothing over here. So, I get to shift my labels with that, right?
Yes.
Is that the only thing that happens?
Yep, shift your own labels.
I think that he wants to be more versatile and get deeper into this type of magic, but as I said, is also knows he's not as good at it as he thinks he is or wanted to be. So I'm going to shift his superior down and his freak up.
Okay, so go ahead and do that, and we will move around to Piero.
Hello.
Now, did Piero take an advance these last couple of sessions? No? Okay, so have you grown closer to the team, into your own image of yourself, or away from the team?
I think that when I first started thinking about this, I thought I grew closer to the team. But as I was thinking about the fight, it kind of felt like William was doing his own thing and Piero was also doing their own thing.
Okay.
So I'm not quite sure if that really fits.
You did actually help me out quite a bit.
Yeah,
I mean, it's up
but
to
it was,
you.
yeah.
If you think that this was more Piero coming into their own,
Yeah.
then yeah, by all means. Or if you think that this was more Piero helping out the team.
I think it was more than anything I was helping you out. So I'm going to say I was growing closer to the team.
Okay, and specifically William?
Yeah, specifically William.
Okay. So, give influence to that character.
Okay.
Does William have influence over you already?
Yes.
Okay, so William, shift Piero's labels.
Let me think about this. What happened the last couple of sessions with us too? You helped me out we helped each other out quite a bit in the fight against the T-Rex. And then you helped me get out of the stone encasing my arms. I think I'm going to shift Savior up and say Mundane down.
So your savior already maxed.
Yeah.
Okay,
Ooh.
go ahead, mark that condition.
Got rid of one!
Sorry!
On the upside,
I'm not supposed to look to
No,
do this
no.
advantageously.
this is...
I'm sorry.
Hero is the savior of everyone, and
I'm
sometimes
just-
that comes with a lot of pressure.
I'm just going to mark the same one, I
Okay,
guess.
now that said,
My bad.
You do also get to clear a condition or mark potential. So you could just clear that condition right off again.
Yeah, let's just do that.
Okay, that's fine. Oh, poor Piero.
And the savior stays the same.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah, everything stays the same. If one of them shifts, and basically if they can't both shift, neither of them.
Okay,
Yeah.
so my mundane did not
Yeah,
shift.
so you don't
Correct.
just flat out lose stats.
Cool.
You always have the same balance of stats.
Yes, yeah.
Cool.
Okay,
Unless you take that advancement.
yeah. And then we move over to the Baroness. So I think you also took an advancement to this
I
particular...
did.
Yeah.
I advanced and I took my bull move, thick and thin skinned, which is whenever you have angry marked, you take a +1 ongoing to unleash your powers.
And the Baroness is never angry, so that's just not going to come up.
Right.
Yeah, that's never going to come up. And so have you grown closer to the team, into your image of yourself, or away from the team?
So I can make good arguments for all three of these at the moment.
Yeah.
But so what else happened in this session? Because I don't remember when this was. This just the museum fight?
This
This was also the bridge fight, wasn't it?
So the bridge fight was last arc.
Right.
So this arc was basically everything past that.
Okay.
It was William telling the team what happened on his
That's
end,
right.
like sharing that moment. It was the museum escapades and then the aftermath of the museum escapades.
Right.
So your entire Armiger track
Yeah,
started
your
in this
Armiger
session.
track
Yeah, that
started
started
this.
here.
That was this arc, yeah.
Yeah. Like that is pushing me towards growing into my own image, but I don't know what that image is yet.
Okay.
So I feel like
Rhino Puma.
Yeah, Rhino Puma.
I feel like my
Rhino
image of
Puma
myself is still
flying.
shifting. It's in flux at the moment.
And that could be your image of yourself is that you don't have a set image. It could just be that you're in flux,
It could be.
if that's how you want to go with it.
Yeah. Did you have something to say?
No, I had a hiccup, but it's gone.
Okay.
Hiccups by Leni Roberts.
Thank you.
The
All right.
session at the mall also was growing closer to the team, where I felt like I trusted William a lot more because you opened up about that.
Yes.
So, and then I could also make the growing away from the team argument, where I'm finding I have a lot in common with the people we're fighting.
Yeah.
So, I could really make an argument for all three of these.
Which are you feeling most?
Oh, jeez. I guess I'm going to say I'm going to grow into my own image.
Okay. So
that's
let's figure out how the Baroness is seeing herself right now at this moment. So, and this is with the last couple of things that have happened, where you found out that Hex apparently is wearing your armor from the future.
Yeah.
You are, at least in part, funded or were created maybe by a corporation that is owned by William's family. And you're not really sure what the extent of that is. So what does the Baroness feel most about herself right now?
So, my personal thought is freak up and save your down.
Okay. I think that works.
Okay.
All right.
Because, I'm definitely feeling more of a connection to these villains, Overclock and the Cybersaurus dude, Cybersaurus Hex, than to the team, because they're mostly magic people. And I'm this weird robot dude, and we're fighting all these robot villains, so I'm feeling more in touch with my villainous past at the moment.
Absolutely. And with that, that is our end of session for our third story arc. Wow. And we will be back next issue with, hopefully, a lighthearted romp in the park.
Yay!
Looking forward to that.
Woo.
Generation is written for Magpie Games by Brendan Conway. It is made of angst, bears, and system error. Give it your dollars. It is well worth them. The Baroness is played by A Glitch in the System. Piro is played by Leni. You can find her on Instagram at C4TFood. William Infernus is played by Jordan. Darren is played by Nan. Find her on Instagram at Nanjitsu. Apex City is GM'd by Jeremy. Or so you think, who also writes the music and edits this podcast. Our album art was provided by Ash Brandt. Find them on Twitter at Cinder_Brandt, on Instagram at Brandt.ash, and on Tumblr at Kimmins. Find us on Stitcher, iTunes, Spotify, or wherever fine podcasts are sold. Follow us on Twitter at Apex City Cast. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you next issue.